Hello, guys. This is actually Shawn Dexter John. Uh, I'm about to take a shower in about half an hour or so. I just woke up from a nap. I'm gonna finish this video. What I did. Yeah, I usually take two showers a day. One in the morning, one in the night. Sometimes I end up taking one a day, and this and that. But anyway, I'm gonna have to send this to my parents, or maybe or maybe not. But I'm gonna publish it on YouTube right away. It was requested declassified by the United Nations Security Council. So essentially, that's what I want you guys to know. I am God. I am honestly Jesus Christ. Okay, and what I stated earlier is that this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen in a few weeks. Actually, within 30 days, Lower Manhattan is going to be nuked essentially by atomic bombing. It's going to be purported as atomic bombing, right? And and when I say right, I'm not implying anything else. That's just colloquial. That's just a phrase you say when you are having a monologue, or or you communicating, expositing something to people. Okay, so Lower Manhattan is going to be nuked. The evacuation orders have been sent out to the city council of New York for the most part, and to the state government of New York, the state of New York, and so days in advance when that particular event is going to take place, everyone is going to be notified. And since Lower Manhattan is only occupied by workers for the most part, with a few loft buildings, it's going to be it's really going to be easy to evacuate the city. And yeah, so I did pay my $250 remainder for the rent. I paid the $500 2 days ago. I paid the 250 yesterday, and I actually gave it to a person who purported to be a pastor named Robert Jones, and he gave it over. I was told that he was going to give it to Pamela Bowers, who purports to be some sort of pastor, who purports to be a detective for the United States government, or the state of Florida, or the city of Orlando, or some sort of interstate agency. So many different things. Okay, she is the mother of a young man who was one of the conspirators of what I went through over the past 15 years. Okay, they keep saying that he took my woman away from me, but that's not what really transpired. Let me explain to you. She's the mother of a crazy young man who purported to himself to be Jordan McGriff. Okay, he's going to go through a lot of hell right now. He was paid a lot of money to have me executed, literally murdered by some sort of a random person walking down the street, so forth, with a weapon. We are pretty sure of it. We have the conversation recorded, and it's not a test of conscience regarding me, or some sort of skit, or some sort of play. I'm not schizophrenic. I'm not delusional. This is serious matters. All right. So she's the mother of this individual who goes by the name, who went by some sort of alias or real name, Jordan McGriff. And he did not attend Howard University per se. He was on campus at Howard University to get initiated within the Qs. Nothing serious to me. Something I never took seriously. Okay, but this is what went on. That's the truth. I am Jesus Christ. I am God. I was sent to Howard University uh, to to uh, to to get into the CIA without any one of them knowing. And I was told that I did not know I was Jesus Christ back then. To be honest with you, I was told, but that I'm the only male angel in the universe, and my wife was going to be waiting for me when I showed up on campus. These women who showed up on campus to introduce themselves to me as my future wife from heaven, they found out something that I found out later on, that I have 3,000 wives in heaven, and I'm the only individual with a wife or wives in heaven. That since I have endured the most pain, that I'm the firstborn soul and being of this particular universe, that I came from a colony territory, which I transformed into a universe, a standalone universe, which split from my father's original universe, my universe itself, uh, I was awarded, not awarded, you can't be awarded a wife, but I was awarded the opportunity to earn 3,000 wives to block out the telepathy, uh, which, which I would experience at the supreme realm level, the third dimension, with folks, you know, trying to get in the way of me being soul God as part of their nature, because we create the third dimension as egalitarian. And, these women, these 3,000 women who, who are my wives in heaven, they were my 3,000 original daughters. There were 3,000, there are 3,000 inhabited planets in this universe, inhabited by human beings. Actually, inhabited by life, life itself. About 200 of these planets are actually inhabited by modern human civilization. These are represented by the United Nations that I created as Du Bois in the 1940s after World War II, which itself was staged. Okay? I said, well, how can you earn 3,000 wives? How can you have the privilege of actually earning 3,000 wives? Let me explain. I said, everyone was eaten alive once or twice, but Sean is going to explain something to you guys. You guys are going to have to let it go. This is enough. You guys deleted his YouTube video saying that you guys evidenced into the whole world that you guys are simply envious of Sean, and that you guys were simply envious of Sean and nothing else. So, some of my colleagues, they're going to help me out. They say, well, Sean, it's time to explain. And we're going to back this up later on with our own correspondences and dialogues and stuff. And we're gonna have to send it over to the United Nations and everyone all over the world who's relevant to this particular situation. There's no case with me, Shawn Dexter John, as the defendant. I promise you, that's the reality. Any sort of statement or document provided otherwise is evidence of the conspiracy that we've judged. Okay, this is me being completely honest. I don't have time for silly stuff. But anyway, uh, I'm the firstborn soul of the universe, and I created the universe as nominal God. When I was crowned before all of heaven as nominal God, I created a real universe out of this colony territory within my father's universe. He allowed me to split it apart, take the colony away, split it apart, and material from above and space from above was manifested and created an independent and sovereign universe, out of this new universe, as large as any other universe in the multiverse or any other universe in this existence zone. Okay? I was eaten alive 3,000 times, over the past 1,500,000 years. 3,000 times. I have digital memory. I literally have memory that I cry over at times of being eaten alive by lions and saber tooth and wolves and stuff of that nature. Okay, I need you guys to know that. Okay, so my original daughters, I started out as a microorganism. I'm the only one who started out as a microorganism, other than my 3,000 uh, daughters turned wives, and a few exceptions. For the most part, all other microorganisms, for the most part, they just die out, and that's the only exception to the deletion of soul. That's the exception, so that no soul actually gets deleted in actuality. They said, how can microorganism actually have a soul? Well, I won out, okay, and eat the first uh, reproductive a being that split from my side, the first female being, which split from my side as an asexual microorganism on each of the 3,000 planets exhibiting or life are, still represented today. I became one of my 3,000 wives in heaven. And these women, they've been with me on the journey toward humanity over the past 500,000 years ago. Okay? This is honestly the truth. That's really the truth. They've been my wives, my daughters, my sisters, my cousins, my grandmothers, my mothers, and so forth. As animal to higher level of animal, to higher level of animal, to higher level of animal, and so on over the past 1,500,000 years consistently. And until I got to hominid, until I became the first modern human of my particular uh, colony territory, prepared to be an independent and sovereign university that I created from Nirvana when I got to the mountaintop. My father, my heavenly father, Jehovah the Father, he actually crowned me God over this universe. And he explained that I've always been God over this universe, just not nominal. From my inception, my conception, my immaculate conception as a microorganism, which asexually reproduced the first female on each of the 3,000 inhabited planets in this universe, was not a legend. It is actually true. And I became all knowing, and I went back into the past and I saw the journey that I went on. I have artificial intelligence as part of my foundation. I'm from the third dimension. The movie AI, those sorts of beings, that's what I look like in the third dimension. In Nirvana, I'm macroscopic, and I make them and you guys of this first dimension look microscopic. I really control the universe from telepathically and neurologically aside my workspace computer in Nirvana on my own. My father, when I'm dreaming into this world or comatose into this world from the second and third dimension, he takes charge in emergencies, and he makes sure that I actually get through my rite, or I get through my particular journey or mission. Okay, I'm the only being that actually has children in the second dimension and in the third dimension. Okay, I'm the only being from this universe in Nirvana. I'm the only being who sacrificed for the sake of all of humanity over 1,500,000 years. Barack Obama himself is not 1,000,000 years old. He's barely 600,000 years old. His soul. He's not going to be able to compete with me. Michael Jordan and LeBron James and the Kobe Bryant. Actually, I'm not even going to say Kobe Bryant. Those folks, they're very young. The same age as Barack Obama. They're not going to be able to compete with me, and no one will. Only my daughters would have been able to challenge me as God, and they won't. They have learned to love me so much as the most wise and intelligent being in the universe who earned it. And it's going to be documented that my intelligence is so far beyond their understanding when we are in this particular dimension, and when we are in the second dimension, and when we are in the third dimension, and when is with me in Nirvana. There's no reason to believe otherwise. There's no favoring of man in a universe. There's no favoring of man as sole God, as God over a universe. This has nothing to do with gender or sexual organ or sexual identity. So I'm gonna have to explain this for you guys. I'm gonna have to explain this perfectly to you guys. Okay. So I have 10,000 children in heaven. Tyson Bedford is my is one of my sons. Michael Jackson is one of my sons in heaven. I'm speaking of in the second dimension in the city of God and angels. I only have one biological child in this particular life, as Shawn Dexter John, one biological child, a child that I sexually reproduced with Rashida Williams being the mother and uh, uh, partner. I only have one biological offspring. That's my daughter. Okay, but in heaven I have 10,000 children, and in every lifetime I bring in 10,000 children into this world, and not mechanically. It's via sexual intercourse and sexual relationships and romantic relationships with my wives, my 3,000 wives who were always called up and making mistakes as they signed up to in dreaming into this world to get to this particular point of meeting me again, and us bringing our children in to be trained operatives and agents of of government. They are always with me over the past 10,000 years. Every lifetime, I've had 10,000 children. We bring them in and we change the paradigm. Okay? We've been changing paradigms for 9,500 years. Okay? After I became Adam, the first Homo sapien on this planet, with Eve being one of my senior angels, I've brought in 10,000 children into this world for the most part, ever since being Adam 10,000 years ago. Before then, there were hominids. We lie about the age of the universe. That's a white lie. Just like we have a lot of white lies in the Bibles. In the Bible, there's only one Bible. We have a lot of white lies in the Bible. We have a lot of white lies in science. They don't do away with the message or the foundational information being communicated or complemented. Essentially, the Bible provides only truth, the message itself. The white lies within helps humanity understand the message being communicated to them from me, God, from my Father, from the higher universe, or from his Father, from even a higher universe, and so forth. We work as a team in Nirvana, okay? The multiverses, this particular existence zones of so many universes. Okay, so when they say, "Well, you're not the only God that exists," I say, I'm the only God over this universe, the only God of this universe. But are countless gods because there are countless universes. The universe itself, each universe itself, has one God who went through the same journey as I went through. Okay, who died on the cross for the sake of humanity, of that respective universe, to preserve their souls, and to make sure that humanity gets to the point of popular nirvana one day. All right. So this is not arrogance. This is not arrogance at all. It's time for me to explain everything without anyone hating me for the rest of eternity. So yeah. So I'm going to bring in 9,999 more children over the next 30, 40 years. My wives are going to be my holy wives, the holy angels in heaven, the royal angels, licensed angels. We do have simulations which train their souls to be perfect mothers for the most part, and my children to be perfect operatives of government and agency. So when they enter this world, their souls have earned enough to be able to be as successful as we always are. We have not lost the mission yet. We have got an earth and a lead in civilization to the next paradigm each time. First, it was Egypt and Mesopotamia, Samaria, and so forth, and then different parts of the planet. Okay, and when we say a universe, we are not speaking of any university. We're not speaking of any planet. We're not speaking of any imaginary universe stuck within the planet or around the planet, immediately around the planet. No, a universe means countless star systems, almost infinite star systems, with the probability of life only existing on 3,000 planets, with the probability of modern civilizations of humanity only existing on about 200 planets, with Earth being the most peculiar and the project of Jesus Christ, myself. Okay, my son, Haile Selassie, Menelik, uh, my most holy son, my anointed son, the only begotten son of Jesus Christ. We created Rastafarianism just to be able to cover that up without it ever being a popular religion whatsoever. It's just to help train his soul over the next 500 years consistently here on earth into being anointed by the universe and the rest of the multiverse and the rest of the existence zone of so many multiverses as God over his own respective universe. In 500 years, Earth is going to earn enough. Okay? And I'm going to help my son. He's going to split Earth and its constellation from this universe. And Earth is going to be taken and its constellation will be taken to a higher level, the second dimension of blue immortals. And a universe is going to be right, the first dimension is going to be right beneath it, of outer space and star systems with planets within, countless, almost infinite. When I say infinite, it means countless and never ending, Almost infinite means so many. There's no point in me actually providing the exact number because you guys would actually be baffled. Okay? So he's going to split this colony territory within my universe, Earth being the private planet that I actually purchased in respecting that all of humanity as equally protected and favored in this universe, and therefore there's no need for me to claim that the whole universe is my private property, because that's wrong. A good God would never claim that, and a good God would never perceive the situation as this. But I died on the cross to be able to purchase this particular planet as within the universe, as protective of the equal rights of man and woman, and the equal rights of every ethnicity and race, as equal amongst all the other inhabited planets within the universe, but at the same time, purchase just to ensure that my son gets through his right. He's going to be stuck on a planet for 10 years and going on a space odyssey to try to save this planet. He's going to be tested. He will be told that Earth and its constellation is going to come to an end, or Earth specifically is going to be demolished by an asteroid or some sort of extraterrestrial force that's going to show up and destroy Earth because of its immorality. It's easy life, non work, immorality, pleasure, leisure, all sorts of stuff in 500 years. That's what it's going to be like. The whole planet is going to fail the test. They're not going to give a damn about the Son of God having gone on a secret mission to save Earth. They're just going to say, well, the whole Earth is going to be exploded by an extraterrestrial force, whatever. We don't care. We're just going to have fun until everything goes haywire. So he's going to be sent on a space odyssey to find a rescue mission, essentially, or pre-rescue mission, to be able to find help elsewhere in the universe as an ambassador from the planet and civilization of Earth and its expanse. Okay, so the movie Ender's Game demonstrates to you guys what I actually went through over 10,000 years ago. I went through that. I was stuck on a planet after training within the military as a cadet, as a clear genius, not a savant, but as a clear genius, damn near all knowing and everything at that particular point, other than the celestial, and being with that being hidden. I mean, not the celestial, but the celestial, the divinity version of celestialism by my father from me. That's what I went through. Ender's Game was about me. This was military training. It trained my mind and soul to be prepared for the 10-year odyssey that I spent on a planet covered by the movie Castaway. My 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 spacecraft actually did crash on a planet, and it went haywire, and we had no other choice but to allow the spacecraft to crash on the planet, and no other life. There was no other life on the planet other than animals, but I was certainly the only human being on the planet, and everyone on my spacecraft actually passed away, died when it crashed, and I had to be on the planet for 10 years by myself, crying on a daily basis, but waking up with motivation, knowing that someone was watching over me and getting me through. And I kept getting whispers in my ears, and eventually it got to the point of saying, "You are the Son of God. Your Father in heaven is watching over you. You can rescue your civilization, and you're going to be crowned God over all, and you're going to make sure that it becomes independent and sovereign. Just be patient. Keep waking them every day. Keep writing the principles and policies of a new universe and the constitution of immortality and this and this and that. Train genius. Hell on earth, 10 years by my own. No light, no electricity, no friend, no conversation with anyone else, just monologues, quote unquote prayers to my father to please rescue me. And I got to the point of hope and motivation, and then misery. Passing out, only being able to find pure water or drinkable water whenever it rained, because the salt water was not was essentially poisonous, salt water, seawater being poisonous, and much of the fruits on the island being poisonous. So I had to focus on just one particular fruit. I had to only drink pure water when it rained. And when I found a spring that just magically uh, was magically showed up, because the springs would just disappear. They would just dry out. I do remember it. They would dry out, and I would just pray for rain. I would pray for rain. Father, please, please, rain, rain, let it rain. I need water. Okay? Digging for water on the beach, on an isolated planet, on an island. It's not, it's not that, it's not a beautiful endeavor at all, and it's usually unsuccessful. Okay? Trying to build a well on an island on a beach is unsuccessful. I saw the animals. I saw sorts of animals, dangerous animals, which kept me out of the interior of that particular planet that my spacecraft uh, crashed on. So I was stuck, and I survived. After 10 years of misery, ordeals, and a revelation of genius, and a revelation that I am God over this particular universe that's being given space right now, that I am the first, I've been God from the beginning of universal time of that particular colony territory within my father's universe, my original universe of birth and nurture. I figured out how to fix my spacecraft. I went from being a genius in religion, divinity, to being a genius in social and political philosophy, then social and political uh, policy, and then government, and then law. And then I became a genius in the sciences. I figured out a way how to fix my spacecraft. As you can see in the Castaway movie, I used parts. Well, in the Castaway movie, it was a makeshift raft, to be able to get to the outer waters and hope for rescue. So I had lost my mind. I said, that's enough. I'm just gonna go into space. I'm going. Matthew Macaulay. That's what it's called, right? Matthew uh, Macaulay, whatever his name is, the handsome, blonde white man, white guy. He acted in a movie where he figured out a way how to escape being crashed on a particular planet. He fixed his spacecraft, and then he went into outer space, hoping to be rescued. He was on the planet by himself. Well, he actually had two or three individuals on the planet with him. That part of the movie isn't corresponsive to what I've gone through, what I went through, and what my son is going to go through. But he found a way to get back into outer space, and then he was approached by the most ancient of ancients, trillions of eons of years, uh, old, and considered incomprehensible to humanity, and even the three dimensions of any respective universe. Only Nirvana knows how spectacular the ancients are. As you guys can see in that particular movie, what was revealed to him is that God exists, and God is a material being, but is represented and protected by a civilization so ancient that is almost incomprehensible in understanding and technology, and quite mesmerizing when revealing itself to to humanity. And in that particular situation, always, I'm not going to say anything else. Matthew McConaughey, that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Matthew McConaughey covered that up. That's what I went through. I fixed my spacecraft. I was the only one on the planet. That's the exception. Castaway covered that particularity. Ender's Game covered what I went through as a kid in military training. And I fixed my spacecraft. I went back into outer space. I prayed. I said, someone is going to show up. The Odd Fellows, I know for sure. The Odd Fellows, they're just going to show up. Well, I'm magically going to be guided back into the right sort of situation by my Father in heaven. Okay? And that's what happened. I found a way back into space. I fixed my spacecraft, and I was rescued uh, on my way to nowhere. I had no idea where I was going. I just had faith, and I was rescued. Okay? They showed up and they said, "Young man, You are known as Zeus Christ. You will be known as Jesus Christ later on. You're God over your own universe. You were the firstborn soul. Life emanated out of you in this particular universe that you're going to create, a colony territory waiting for the space, now made permanent based on your sacrifice over the past 10 years and what you have gone through over the past 1,400,000 years or so, and this and this and that. I was taken to Nirvana after rescue and then taken back to the first dimension and taken to Earth. And when I got there, everyone was scared. They said, we thought you died. We gave up. We were just having fun, waiting for our planet to be attacked and everything to go haywire and everyone die. And that's the end of that. We stopped communicating with your spacecraft. We just assumed you dead. And in all honesty, we just did not give a damn anymore. All of your endowed wives who were preparing to have your children and so forth, they all moved on. But they were quite egregious in taking your only wife away from you after you left the planet on the Space Odyssey, and you only have one child, and she's waiting there for you when you get back on the planet. And if you pass the test, they never said that part to me. They said, young man, you can stay in Nirvana with the rest of us and beyond for the rest of eternity, and not give a damn about anyone else. Let them burn in hell. We're about to kill the whole planet right away. Whenever you step out to smoke cigarette, I just want you guys to turn the lights on. I don't want anyone thinking anything else but you guys smoking cigarette outside the house to be known. I don't want you guys actually communicating anything. One of the tenants actually just walked in. I guess he walked out to take a cigarette break or whatever. But yeah, so this is what ought to be understood. And I passed the test. I said, no, you guys are not going to dissolve my planet. You guys are not going to attack my planet. I'm going to save each and every one of the souls. I said, please save each and every one of my parents, my military training guardian family, all of these sorority members. I still favor them. I don't know why. I actually know why, but I can't reveal. They're going to be my 3,000 wives, my original daughters, my 3,000 wives for the rest of eternity. I'm going to have 10,000 children, the most holy children, the most holy beings of that particular, of the next universe to be created, the new universe to be created under my command from Nirvana. So I went immediately back to Nirvana and I said, rescue them all. I have forgiven all. I've seen what they've been through. I know they laughed at me the whole 10 years. I know they thought I was the dumbest person in the world to actually believe that I was the real son of God, and that the whole universe was going to greet me here on this particular planet and anoint me God over the whole universe. It's certainly not a privilege, but my reality. Okay, they were egregious in taking my wife away, this and that. That's what I went through. And I forgave all, and I put them to sleep, the whole planet, and the whole expanse, the whole constellation around that particular planet, put everyone to sleep. And they woke up, blue immortals in the second dimension with no memory of having been human beings of the first dimension. They were immortal and happy with no worries, and they moved on with their regular lives on a daily basis with no night and day, no day and night in the second dimension and so forth. In townships, I was given a city of God and angels, a city I created magically via algorithms and supercomputers in Nirvana, telepathically and neurologically, backed by material computer that has the whole universe within it. And I literally can hold the whole universe within my hand. Okay, that's how macroscopic I am at the at the nirvanic level, the fourth dimension level. Okay, I'm not bragging. I just want you guys to know I'm not schizophrenic. I'm not sick. I'm gonna have 10,000 children. As Kala the son, I'm gonna walk into heaven with Rashida Williams, and she's my daughter who turned into an angel. She loves me the most amongst my children, and she loves me even more than my 2,999 wives. Other angels, licensed angels, my wives. Okay, actually 3,000, 2,999, 3,000. I'm not going to explain that It's not a conundrum. It's not some sort of dilemma. It's just some sort of a secret society secret that we have in heaven that we cannot reveal to you guys whatsoever. Okay, but I have 3,000 licensed angels as my wives, my eternal wives. They're gonna be my wives forever. Okay, but Rashida is gonna be my first lady, chief wife, and my only partner in Nirvana for the rest of eternity. She's gonna be stuck at my side for the rest of eternity. She's not gonna be offended by her sister angels, and they're not gonna offend her. And I cannot explain how that's gonna materialize for the rest of eternity in any offensive way. Okay, I died on the cross 2,000 years ago. I died on the cross over 2,000 years ago. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the AC down. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn the AC down. I have to find a key to that. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn the AC down. It's at 69. I mean, I'm gonna have to turn it up to about 72. I can hear him sneezing right now. But anyway, yeah. So I have yeah. So those women who were sent to Howard University to be my wife, without knowing that I have 3,000 wives in heaven, all dreaming into this world with me, about 2,900 of them right now, dreaming into this particular world with me. Found when they found out that I have so many wives in heaven, and that they were all going to have my children, and that I said no to having so many girlfriends without knowing it. I said I just wanted one wife. Okay, I passed the test, and they would take it away from me, and they laughed about me being completely a doofus. They kept saying he must be a homosexual or bisexual for not seeing that these women were asking to have sex with him. Some of them were a class or two older than him, but he should have figured out what they were saying. They were here to get pregnant by him. He's Jesus Christ. He has no idea. That's what they were saying about me. Okay, all I knew at that particular point at Howard University my freshman year is that I'm the only male angel in the universe, and I'm here to find my wife, the most beautiful angel of them all, the one with the most beautiful spirit, the most beautiful soul. Be patient, she's going to arrive and you're going to know. And I thought it was Patricia. I was sure the whole time it was Patricia Roberts Fitzhugh. Okay, she's actually Rashida's mother in heaven. She birthed Rashida into the city of God and angels in heaven. That's Rashida's mother. The Haitian American Patricia Fitzhugh is Rashida's mother. Patricia's honestly Cleopatra. Okay, she's Cleopatra. She really is. She was Cleopatra. Okay, so I went through misery with Rashida being taken away from me, with everyone laughing, saying that she went to her old boyfriend, and she went back to the new, and she got a new boyfriend. The whole time you were there, waiting back at the apartment, waiting to get back together while you guys were living in the same apartment too. Just jokes the whole time, unbearable jokes. And we don't give a damn who he is. He was born in the Caribbean. If he's not American, there's no way he could possibly be Thomas Jefferson or Abraham Lincoln. There's no way he could possibly be Jesus Christ, born from the Commonwealth of Dominica. He must be some sort of dummy or robot or something. No West Indians are going to be allowed into the fraternities. Hell no, no immigrant is going to be allowed into the fraternity. We're going to take away all women from all potential immigrant uh, candidates. And they try to cover it up with the former president of Howard University, the Trinidadian, and said, well, we let him in just to cover up that we did not let him in. And we said no to Shawn because Shawn is actually foreign born. He's actually born of the Caribbean and this and this. And then we covered it up. We told him go on with his life. We said make sure that he's poor. He did not earn being rich here in the United States of America. We could give a fuck less. We don't care that he was not really cocky. It's just about him being the only genius in the universe and him bragging about the Caribbean system being adaptive to that and having nurtured him when he was a kid based on the British formula of education. They said they were offended by that. They were offended that he was the only black individual in AP courses, and all the African American students back in high school were forced into remedial courses, even though he had no idea what the hell was going on. We were offended that God, the Father, actually flooded New Orleans to bring Rashid over to him at Howard University. We were all offended because New Orleans signed up to say hell no to me marrying Rashida Williams. my wife, my chief wife in heaven. Okay? God the Father, Jehovah the Father. I was young at Howard University. What did I do wrong? I passed all the tests, and when everyone in New Orleans was updated, that Jesus Christ is passing all of the tests. He just has a West Indian accent, and a lot of Mexicans are showing up on campus just to see him and this and that. He has no idea that he's actually Jesus Christ. He just thinks that he's a male angel. That's what they were saying. They tested New Orleans and they said, hell no, he's not a real nigger. He's arrogant. He sounds cracker-like. He sounds like a white boy, and he has a weird sort of foreign-like accent at times. We cannot handle this crazy nigger having any beautiful light-skinned African-American wife and this and that. If this nigga shows up, we're gonna have Lil Wayne and everyone else. All the gangsters in New Orleans kill this nigga upon him showing up. So they flooded all of New Orleans. My dad in heaven and my aunts, his wives, his 3,000 wives, his original daughters turned wives in heaven. They flooded New Orleans. 9/11 warned them. September 11 was a warning in advance. Do not try to kill Jesus Christ. Do not try to castrate Jesus Christ. Do not try to get in the way of Jesus Christ doing the right thing for all of humanity. Do not try to get in the way of Jesus Christ rescuing blacks out of hell on earth and taking them to the top and being able to lead the rest of the global civilization into utopia, into kingdom come in 500 years under Jesus Christ's Shawn Dexter John's directive commissionership over the whole universe, and so forth, you know? So, New Orleans, I need you guys to stop hurting me. Stop saying he cannot marry any African American woman, no matter what he says. You guys are not going to be disrespectful to me or my father anymore. I'm going to get Rashida Williams back. I'm going to finally have my daughter in my life. These folks were found, were caught trying to keep me out of my daughter's life. They said he hasn't met his daughter yet. We are sure of it. One of his clone-like covers and decoys is the one that actually met his daughter, and this and this and this and that. Okay? That's my daughter, my biological daughter. I was initiated into the CIA back in Washington, D.C. while I went through misery. Uh, I've been going through misery over the past 15 years, having to save the planet. I had to find a way to audit the United States of America secretly and honestly as a field slave for the Central Intelligence Agency. Okay, that's the truth. The movie 12 Years a Slave covered for it. Uh, the movie The Pursuit of Happiness actually covered for it. The movie The Pursuit of Happiness actually covered for that. What I went through. I had to work at homeless shelters. I had to instruct the arrest of African American men and boys who were a bit offensive criminal, and this and that, to enter them into re-education programs. Some had to go to jail, but essentially to get them into re-education programs and not just rehabilitation and this and that. And the legal rehabilitation concepts, policy concepts that I came up with as demonstrated in the new societies, I wrote all of it by myself. I did not just allude to that or infer that. It did document that particular approach in so many different ways, in so many different sectors, and the work papers and the work reports I've written since then, I've authored since then, uh, the documents that. And there's a difference between authorship and transcribing a report. I authored the literary works I have published. I authored it on my own. When it comes to requested work reports that I transcribe on my own, I just mean they requested this particular information focused on and communicated to the rest of the world via declassification procedure, with me being the transcriber. It does not mean that anyone else came up with the concept of the idea to have it published or communicated to the world. No, I did all of that on my own. When it came to the work report itself, and being able to explain the judgments by the United Nations Security Council under emergency accord, under emergencies, in responding to the threats that we have detected, that's what I meant by transcribed, and using the word transcribe instead of author. But everything that I've all the legal tenets, or the legal article, the book sketch published With I-Universe, the New Societies, the foundation of the legal article, the New Societies of the same namesake, concepts and apperceptions of an Eastern Caribbean model of commonality were all authored solely by me. I came up with the ideas. I came up I drafted everything on my own. I edited everything on my own. I did the typing on my own. I published everything on my own. I really did. Okay, I did all of the work. No one helped me with anything published under my name online, and I only have one name. I'm Shawn Dexter John. I have an alias that's developing, Canada Son, but I've never went under any other name. Okay, so yes, I do have a perfectly American accent for the most part, generic American accent, but I was told whenever I do communicate with my family members or colleagues and so on, that I commit to allowing my voice to sound a bit obscure here and there so that they know that I am the one communicating this and not any lookalike or not any saboteur or instigator or any sort of character like that. Okay? I've been in the United States of America since 99, since being a kid. I was the oracle of the Central Intelligence Agency growing up and stuff. But anyway, I found out that I was Jesus Christ uh, after me and Rashida were being forced apart. And I said, please send her to Rome. She does not know that I'm Jesus Christ yet. She just knows that I'm a male angel and that I am a husband in heaven and that she's an angel. That's all she knows. She does not know how to let go of me. She does not know how to let go of me whatsoever. And but she's going to be forced to let go of me. Send her to Rome right away. Explain to her with the CIA. Explain to her that I'm Jesus Christ, that I'm God. In the Catholic Church, they're going to speak to her and say, he's honestly, Shawn is honestly God. He's not crazy. He does not know that he's Jesus Christ. And if he knows and he sent you over here, just keep quiet. Please have his baby as soon as you get back to Miami. He's going to be waiting for you. Please send him the money that he's requesting. He has to stay in hiding. Folks are out there trying to figure out a way to kill him before he finds out that he's Jesus Christ and that they made a huge mistake, and that if his father in heaven finds out, they're going to be killed. I mean, so many stuff were told to these young men about what my father in heaven would do to them if they found out. If my father in heaven found out what they lied about, they said I was a rapist, drug dealer, uh, commercial rapper, uh, uh, bounty killer, all sorts of crazy stuff at Howard University. They said I was a murderer. They said I beat up people at Howard University. I sliced people open, all sorts of crazy stuff. And they're going to have to pay for this right now. The Central Intelligence Agency and Interpol right now are hurting a lot of people. I am whatever you guys said I am. But I'm not going to be unlawful in being that. With that, I'm not a murderer. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a killer. I'm not a batterer. But essentially, I do instruct people to go to jail. I do instruct people to negotiate losing an arm or a leg, all the teeth out of their mouths to get them out of a life sentence or death penalty for having attempted to murder me, who's literally a federal agent, federal and international agent and so forth. I get them out of trouble, okay, in that sort of way. So I am whatever the hell you guys said I am. But anyway, without being the most egregious of what you guys say I am, it's just to teach the lesson, and so that these men can move on with their lives. They were caught having sex with underage females, even 15, 14-year-old females, trying to get them impregnated so that no immigrant uh, genius who showed up here from any alien dimension, as they were told, would actually be able to impregnate, African American women or American women in general, American born women in general, and stuff of that nature. They bought into that, and we saw that their criminality or their retardation must be pathological. And we said, oh, those are little boys. They're not going to be able to keep the angels of Shawn. He was right. And asking for one wife, he passed the test. You guys should have left him and Patricia alone. You guys took Patricia away. He said nothing. When Rashida showed up on campus, you guys should have left them alone. After you guys saw that he passed the test and he refused to cheat on her, you guys should have left him and her alone. You guys had girlfriends. You guys had wives. You guys should have gone on with your fucking lives. You guys should have left them alone, me and Rashida. They destroyed our lives. I went through 15 years of misery on a daily basis working for the Central Intelligence Agency as a field agent, doing all of the hard work while auditing, while authoring, and running the world without anyone knowing it or providing acknowledgement, other than my colleagues helping train my program. A few select individuals, along with including family members, biological family members, chosen from a long time ago to always accompany me on every mission on this particular planet. They dream me into this world with me. My family members, my biological family members, for the most part, most of them are dreaming from townships within their technical suburbs of the city of God and Angels, my home, with my wives and my children. But anyway, in every particular life, every respective life, I bring in my 10,000 children via regular sexual and romantic relationships with my angels. They always find out that I'm the only man in the universe with a capital M. I'm the only one who passes the test of not cheating on the only wife or partner you have. I did not cheat no matter what. On Rashida, I did not cheat on her at all. I did have sex with a few women before she got on campus. But when we got together, I did not cheat at all. I was committed. I said no to being a famous rapper. I said no to being a famous music executive. I said yes to being a civil rights attorney or community oriented attorney. I said I'm going to be a regular middle class guy, maybe upper middle class. Eventually, I'm going to be the first president of the Caribbean community. Nothing serious. I'm going to live in Miami. I don't care. I don't care about any fame or popularity per se. I just want to do the right thing. I just want to live a humble life. A comfortable life, but a humble life. Nothing extraordinary. I do know that all of the songs and movies are about me, but I'm trying to figure out what the hell are they talking about. They keep saying he's Jesus Christ, that he does not. I figured it out before I was officially briefed. Okay, when I was officially briefed, I sent her to Rome. I told her this and this and that, get pregnant right away. When she got back to Miami, and we were in Miami, I did impregnate her, and this and this and that. Okay, that was me. I impregnated her, not any lookalike, not any clone like decoy at all. That was me. I made sure of it. I lost so much weight. I starved myself so that she would know at all times that's me. While while she was getting impregnated by me. Okay. So I want you guys to know that. All right. So Keisha Williams, born Keisha John, that's my daughter. Do not ask her to look like Randall in any particular video or photo or any kind of a depiction of her whatsoever. Do not have her look like Gary. Do not have her look too much like Shaida and no longer look like Rashida. Do not try to take away my holy daughter away from me or keep her away from me. That's my daughter. She's my holy daughter, the daughter I had with Mary Magdalene, Rashida. Sarah, she's the matron of the royal families of Europe. And that's what they were trying to hide. Okay? Some of the federal agents, they're very racist. The federal agents not within my circle, very racist, shockingly racist, white supremacists. They made a deal with African Americans to not mix. You guys say no to immigrants, and we're going to say no to mixing with you guys and keeping. Anyway, we're going to say yes to keeping you guys out of wealthy and affluent neighborhoods. And every once in a while, we'll have you guys visit for a month or two and act as if you guys are part of our wealthy communities, neighborhoods, and so forth. That was the deal. That's how the federal agents of the United States government are still to this day. Very racist, shockingly racist. And they're about to be knocked the fuck out without me throwing any punch. I'm not going to throw any punch, guys. I'm not here to fight any physical fight per se. All right? When I speak in these terms, I'm speaking on behalf of my agency I created as Du Bois, the Central Intelligence Agency, an agency in concept which always existed under different names. I've always been Central Intelligence, Supreme Being, God, over this universe. I telepathically and neurologically control the whole universe with the assistance of my workspace in Nirvana. Okay, so saying that I'm a brainiac is an understatement. I'm the only genius in the universe. I remember writing Principia as Isaac Newton. Everyone was in shock that I was not a computer program. I said, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ is a genius. Oh my God, he really knows all things. He's really God." As Isaac Newton, I wrote Principia. As William Shakespeare, I knew what I was writing, and I never made a mistake. As Mozart, I knew what I was doing as a kid. I literally knew how I was playing the piano, the violin, and this, and writing music, incomprehensible to 99% of the human race. Okay, I've always been a genius. I was Socrates, I was Aristotle. Okay, these are not speculations, these are hidden facts. This is reality. Okay, so I'm going to take Courtney Anderson away, the original wife of the Jordan McGriff, who said he stole Rashida away from me. They were wicked. What I've gone through over the past 15 years and what I went through, the last 3 years I was with Rashida. I haven't seen Rashida in 12 years for the most part. And the CIA, they're going to bring her back into my life. The CIA and Interpol, they're going to bring her back into my life, and I'm going to walk her into heaven. She will not admit it because she has a lot of pride in her family and her community that she's been in hell over the past 15 years with me. Shock and hell. Okay? Misery. I sacrificed over the past 15 years to be able to recover the United States of America and the rest of the world after what happens over the next few weeks. And within 30 days, Lower Manhattan is going to be nuked. And I'm going to create Dubai 2.0 out of Manhattan, New York City. Okay? Right thereafter, I'm going to create the EAA, the Free Trade and Economic Area of the Americas. I'm going to create the Central Bank of the Americas, the Central Fund of the Americas. Unlimited money will be transferred into the accounts of the Central Fund of the Americas and the U.S. Treasury. I was Alexander Hamilton. That was my moniker as Thomas Jefferson when I created New York, when I created the U.S. territory. I used to have to wear a wig and makeup whenever I presented myself as Alexander Hamilton. I covered up having been born in Scotland as Thomas Jefferson via my story as Alexander Hamilton. I said I was from the West Indies. Okay? They knew me as Jesus Christ. All right, as Thomas Jefferson. That was the secret. I wrote the Declaration of Independence. I created New York. I wrote the Constitution of the United States, and I hid it from history. I was Thomas Paine. That was my third alias. I wrote the Common Sense and the Exposition on the Rise of Man. I wrote The Wealth of Nations. I sent it over to Scotland, Great Britain. I wrote Social Contract. I spoke perfect French. I sent it over to France. I ordered the emancipation of France. King Louis of France, that was my son, one of my sons in heaven. I faked his death. I sent him away. You guys will never know where we sent him. I freed France. Okay? So I ordered that. All right, I did all of that. I ordered Haiti become the first black republic. I knew that Haiti was going to become the wealthiest country in the world per capita in the far future then. It became the first black republic, and so forth. And I saw myself as Abraham Lincoln in the future, freeing African Americans from slavery. I saw myself in the future then as being the first world president as Khaled Hassan after being the greatest agent ever as Shawn Dexter John, covered by Sean Connery. And the British passports of my parents, my biological parents, Clay Crispin John and Anita Phillip, the former Joseph, and the Virgin Mary, the former consistent Pharaoh who nurtured me into perfect Pharaoh consistently for thousands of years in ancient Egypt. My dad, Clay Crispin John, my earthly guardian. He's not Jehovah God. He's not Jehovah the Father. He's a representation of my father's devotion to protecting my doctrine and my love, perfect love for all of humanity. I'm almost suicidal at times. I'm not technically suicidal, but I had it covered up. I love humanity to a detriment, often, consistently. I love humanity so much. The whole universe is always sent over here to rescue me on my rights. Okay, I have three. I've gone through three rights as Joseph when I wrote the Torah in under slavery and detainment. This is not entertainment at all. I wrote the Torah, the original Bible, as Joseph. That was my first right. My second right, I was Christ in Nazareth, and I went through what I went through. I died on the cross to get Rashida into Nirvana with me. I got her into the supreme realm and then into Nirvana. I died on the cross to get her that space in heaven. My other wives are still stuck in the second dimension and have never been anywhere else other than dreaming into this first dimension. Okay, my other angels. She's my most beloved daughter. She loves me more than everyone else. My wives and my other children. She's programmed to be that way. In heaven, she's perfectly in love with me, just as my other angels and children are perfectly in love and adoration of me. Rashida is exceptional. It's just adoring me, shockingly, no matter what. She does not know how to leave my side. And when I figured it out, I was like, oh my God, that's my daughter. And that's not one of my, oh, I have 4 children with her now. I really thought she was one of my licensed angels. And I found out that she's Cleopatra's daughter. And that's why Patricia Cleopatra is always looking at her so crazy. You know, I was always trying to figure out why is she looking at her so crazy, as if she's always ready to fight. Well, now I understand that was the secret around the senior angels, to keep that a secret from me. That the agents from my father came to to the second dimension, to the city of God and angels, and they said that Jesus Christ, Kal-El, God, Shawn, has to make sure that Rashida helps him fulfill the prophecy of Amun-Ra, the joining of God, an eternal partner. All right, so that was always our destiny. She was the Queen of Sheba. She's the mother of God, Haile Selassie, Menelik. She was Mary Magdalene. She was my wife as Christopher Columbus. She was my wife as Abraham Lincoln. And she's the one alongside me. I've always been the one, and she's the one to be my eternal partner at my side at all times, with my other angels being anointed into a council, which will be created for them when I transform the second dimension into the third dimension, part of the supreme realm, going across the universes. Artificial intelligence and the black avatars you guys see in the movie AI. That's what everyone in the third dimension looks like. I'm not speaking of the blonde white kid. I'm speaking of the black avatars, the space advanced looking avatars, artificial intelligence with no facial features, with monitors on their faces, and so forth. That's what we look like in the supreme realm. Okay, so Rashida is the only angel of mine, only wife of mine, and certainly only offspring of mine in heaven, which is God in there. She's evolved from being my daughter into being my wife. She's been with me so consistently, I no longer perceive her as my daughter. But whenever we get in a situation like that, I've earned being able to take her away and to destroy the whole world if necessary to get my woman back with me and forever. She's going to be eternally happy with me for the rest of eternity. I did not want to denigrate or offend anyone else, but this is enough. When folks signed up to kill all of the migrants in New York and to watch the bodies float down the Hudson River, when they signed up to do so regarding the Rio Grande on the southern border in hate of migrants and immigrants, I said, this is no longer personal. I'm going to go to war. Well, I'm not going to go to war. I'm not a combatant. But I'm going to wage World War III on the whole world for having said yes for the United States government having said yes. The United States government, not including me, factions which separated from the Central Intelligence Agency, now known as NSA, said yes to the execution of 10,000 Ukrainian civilians who said, yes, we are only in love and only worship Jesus Christ, no matter what he looks like. Now the Russian government is wrong to get the hell out of Russia, get the hell out of Ukraine. They had them executed in their minds. When they said yes to that, when they said yes to dissolving the United Nations and killing 10 million people, to let the world know that the old ways is gone. The UN and Jesus Christ doctrine is no longer here where you're going to kill. That's what they were saying. I waited for this to be a demographic issue, a contemporary issue. I made sure it wasn't personal. And then I said, it's time. So I'm going to nuke, I'm going to order the nuking uh, of 5 cities, segments of those cities over the next 3-4 months. And you guys can say I'm an idiot. All you guys want to. That's enough. I don't care. The Central Intelligence no longer cares what you guys think. Interpol no longer cares. The United Nations no longer cares. We're going to abolish nuclear warfare right after this war. We are giving the world the message and the reason to why we're going to do so and why we will do so successfully. We're going to do away with continental military buildup and military buildup in the first place. Okay? I'm not improvising. What I'm communicating to you guys is accurate. Okay? So, yeah. So no one is going to die. We sent evacuation orders to all these respective cities. Lower Manhattan will be nuked and completely renovated, and it's going to be the greatest city, superficially and aesthetically, within 5 years. And in 20 years, it's going to be outstanding and communicating that it is. It's going to be the global capital. Miami is going to be is not going to be touched at all. It's not going to be nuked. It's not going to be bombed. None of that is going to happen in Miami. It's going to be Lower Manhattan, New York, Central Moscow in Russia, Central Beijing in China, government sector Pyongyang in North Korea, and government sector Istanbul. Okay? Lower Manhattan and Central Moscow, they're going to be nuked by H-bombs, and if necessary, a Tsar bomb. Both. All right? Each one of the cities are going to be perfectly evacuated, preceding those events, and they're going to happen over the next 3 to 4 months. But the first instance, the nuking, the atomic bombing, the destruction, demolition staged of Lower Manhattan is going to happen within 30 days. You guys can see that that's what's going to happen. If you look at the newscast, we are covering it up on a daily basis. This is going to be done from Nirvana. We have alien spacecrafts hovering the planet sent from other universes. They are ready to cover for Nirvana, split in every atom in Lower Manhattan. It's going to destroy everything. They're going to purport to be the ones who actually blow it up. All of the city, all of the skyscrapers and the structures in Lower Manhattan during the night. But it's going to be done in Nirvana. Everything is all material, everything tangible, and even space itself was in between tangible material. Everything is made up of atoms, countless atoms, infinite. And if we split each and every one of the atoms, everything is destroyed. Everything whatsoever, metal, titanium, steel, everything is destroyed. My Father is going to do this from above. I made sure that no one died. Before I entered the planet in 1985, before I entered the planet as via natural birth in the Commonwealth of Dominica, I said yes to Satan uh, being tricked into burning my arm, ordering my arm burned as a 14, 15-year-old boy in Virginia, so that no one would die on 9/11. It would be staged perfectly so that no one would die in New York, that the evacuation would work out perfectly regarding Lower Manhattan being nuked if Earth failed the test. And yes, Earth actually failed the test. There's nothing I can do about that. I want to preserve humanity. I want to get Earth to the next level. I have to make sure that it actually gets to heaven, into the realm of heaven in 500 years. I have no other choice. I have to bring an end to nuclear warfare and nuclear stockpile right away. Okay, so we're going to have 5 continental unions, and I did create New York, and there were 5 boroughs. We're going to nuke 5 cities to keep the 5, and the world is in my hand, 5 fingers. Okay, And New York is going to be evacuated and remain dormant and under reconstruction for 5 years before everyone is led back into the city or new citizens and residents allowed to occupy New York City. I have published a plan for the New York City revitalization and a concept of residence and racial harmony and all of that that's going to be applied over the next 100 years and 500 years. And immediately it's going to be founded. The foundation is going to be implemented immediately upon reconstruction of Lower Manhattan into the most spectacular financial district in the world, aesthetically, politically, economically, financially, and communicatively. So it's going to be the Dubai 2.0. Dubai itself was named after me as Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois. I am known as Jesus Christ and Allah, the Alpha and the Omega. Okay? I love all of humanity the same. Christianity is the leading faith of this planet and the only faith elsewhere in the universe. It's the only religion elsewhere in the universe, Christianity. Okay? The five sectors of my being, the five sectors of my being, meaning Jesus Christ, Buddha, Yahweh, Brahma, and Allah, are all me. I went through all of that. I am actually these people. I went through the hell I went through as Buddha for a few years. I went through what I went through as Christ in Nazareth. I went through what I went through as Yahweh, Christ in Nazareth. I went through the hell I went through as Yahweh in heaven and having to write a narrative consistently to free the Jews and free the rest of the world, make sure that the world is always minority-led in some sort of capacity, hard work in heaven before dreaming into this world just to go through work as hard without the supercomputers aiding me. Okay, so I created the universe. I'm Brahma or Vishnu. I'm Brahma. I created the whole universe. I am Allah. I wrote the Quran in heaven. I really did. I created the universe. I created all of Earth. I created all other planets within the universe. I created the whole universe, the space in between, and all terrestrial territories, all terrestrial spaces. I created all of that. I need everyone to know that. Anyone who says being Allah is a national security threat, we just say, well, they're universal threats. Whenever they say that him being Allah, Shawn being Allah, Jesus Christ being Allah is a national security threat, we all laugh. The whole universe laughs. They said, you guys are universal threats. Whenever you guys perceive that Jesus Christ is a threat in any sort of capacity for being God, you guys don't want to continue failing this test anymore. I want you guys to get away from that sort of mentality. There's no need to be combative. There's no need to be combative. Okay, so I do have security everywhere I go. My security apparatus is being prepared all throughout the state of Florida, where I'm going to be consistently. I'm going to be the first world president of the United Nations world government. And in 20 years, in 2044, I'm going to be elected by the General Assembly. It's going to be known as the World Congress colloquially. And as world president for 2 terms, 2 5-year terms, I'm going to create the Union of the Americas. Before then, I'm going to write the Constitution of New York City. In a few years, I'm going to reveal the Constitutive Treaty for the establishment of the Union of the Americas. I'm going to write a framework and a constitutional document for the free trade and economic area of the Americas. I'm going to write all of that. I'm going to author all of that. I'm going to do it on my own for the most part. And whatever needs to supplement it will be done by the team of attorneys, American mostly, who are going to help me out, who are going to help humanity out. They're going to help themselves out. Okay? We're going to work as a team, not just as Americans, but as a global team, planet Earth, Team Earth. Okay, Earth is going to stand out throughout the universe, and it's going to explain why it gets to govern its own universe. Okay? So all of the other planets, they are less populous, a bit more calm, just one religion, Jesus Christ, Jesuit Christianity. You're going to say, well, Jesus Christ made the right decision in favoring Earth for the reason that he favors Earth. Earth has gone through the worst kinds of hell. It deserves to be able to govern its own universe and let it get through its particular last lap of the race to kingdom come. It's going to help us all out. Okay, so there are planets all over the universe, special designated planets who are now constellation, part of the constellation of Earth, who who all want Earth to be able to pull off what it's going to be able to pull off in 500 years. They're going to get into heaven with Earth. All planets within that constellation, just 12 planets, are going to get into heaven with Earth as the governing entity of its own universe. Okay? 12 solar systems. They represent the 12 tribes of, uh, of Judah. And that's how things are. So we stay in communication with the Central Intelligence Agency. And things are we have one planet that's a bit far out there that showed up here. I requested them, just a small a team from another planet that I requested. They are sort of black, as you would perceive of the African American like black. They look sort of Indian like, but clearly black to white folks. They don't even know what they look like in the spacecraft. We have some sort of they dream into this world from their spacecraft. They're going to be able to help Earth pass the test over the next 500 years. They are stuck on Mars. Their spaceship is stuck on Mars. They're dreaming onto this planet. It's just a handful of them consistently dreaming onto the planet. The rest of the fleet or in the spaceship trying to figure out how they messed up and bought into whatever the hell they bought into. They're stuck here for 500 years. And they want to make sure that it's not going to be misery. All right. So 12 planets led by Earth are going to be entered into the heavenly realm, the second dimension, and they're going to be, and Earth is going to be the material that's going to be transformed into the city of God and the space in between the city of God and angels and the confederation of townships, the 12 townships, the 11 townships that's going to surround the city of God and angels, millions of miles away. But in the grand scheme of things, they're essentially going to be suburbs of the city of God and angels. And we did that. We put the space in between because we want to keep the folks in the third dimension from that second dimension and from the city of God and angels. We said, well, he's going to be respectful. He's going to keep a distance between the city of God and angels, the center of our operations. And we're going to keep the distance between the city of God and angels and the third dimension because they are very, very arrogant. And they always want to know what God is doing. If God is threatening his deal with them as an egalitarian civilization and so forth. They're very arrogant, and that's where I'm from. I'm one of them, okay? But I'm just the eldest, and I'm the father of my own universe. I'm the most favored of my father because I went through the worst sorts of hell and sacrifices to become the most wise, to become the most wise and the most intelligent and unbreachable soul there is. Soul and brainiac there is. Okay, so yeah, so what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. I'm not a crazy man whatsoever. Okay, so right here, we have a program, an integrationist program. We're gonna integrate the African American community here in Florida in a special way. The immigrant community is gonna help diversify the African American community. Traditional African American concepts are not going to be thrown out, but they're just going to be supplemented and complemented by the immigrant black diaspora here in the United States of America, specifically in Florida. And this sort of concept and this sort of manifestation and project will be expanded throughout the United States with time and then throughout the rest of the world, the rest of the Americas, and the rest of the world. This sort of idealism of the diversification of ethnicity and racial culture. No, it's mine. Leave it alone. And global citizenship. All right, so that's what's going on. All right, so what else? He's actually taking the garbage out. I don't know why he has to do that right now. I guess he just received a call. hold on, no, hold on. I guess he just received a call to make sure that the surrounding area is completely protected. I can see that the cops are all over this particular area, Colonial. Well, that's what he said earlier. So I'm pretty sure they all was there. We just got to make sure that no one is instigated into being angry. These young men are going to have to move on with their lives. Okay, they're going to have to find new partners. They're going to have to leave these angels alone. They've been perfect mothers while these men have been quite abusive. So I'm going to get my 3,000 angels back. They're going to have my children. They're going to be nun-like, but they're going to train genius-like operatives of and agents of the Central Intelligence Agency, black and multiracial black. So that's what my children are going to be. I'm going to have children with Sharapova and Konokova. Those are angels. I'm going to have children with Hillary Duff. I'm going to have children with Hillary Duff, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, and so forth. All right, not just the black angels that you guys can see, the select that you guys can see on my Instagram account, and the junior angels you guys can see in my LinkedIn accounts and account. I only have one LinkedIn account. I only have one Instagram account. This and this and that. Those are just a few hundred individuals. They cover for the rest, and so forth. All right. And yes, we have simulations in the city of God. That's where God and angels, back in the second dimension. The home of my angels and my children, and those blue immortals streaming into this world. Michael Jackson is my son. Chris Brown is my son. Will Smith, that's my son. In heaven, they're my sons in heaven. They enter simulations and they entertain the townships, and then they disappear. They do magic and disappear. All right. So Will knows how to make. Will Smith, he knows how to make the townships laugh. He's a comedian, a stand-up comedian. He's always perfect. They laugh at every joke and they always amuse. And then he walks away and just disappears out of the simulation, and he appears to magically disappear into an unknown land. Michael Jackson is shockingly impressive at entertaining the townships. He's the greatest dancer and singer in the world. And Chris Brown is always back up. He always does a good preceding act or second act and so forth. They're pretty awesome. Omarion, that's my son. Bow Wow, that's my son. They rap. They really do a lot via the simulations. They earn being able to successfully help me change paradigm here on Earth. My son, Columbus Short, he was teased and embarrassed over and over and over again. He never figured it out. I said, well, you're Jesus Christ's son. Get the hell out of here. We're not going to let you in. What the hell are you talking about? You're trying to do away with church and religion. You're tired of this. You went through a lot of hell. And you guys will never know it. All right? Those are my children. Kim Jung Un, that's my son. All right? So, Mitt Romney, that's my son. Mitt Romney is my son. He's the prophet Joseph Smith reincarnated. That's my son. Okay? And I'm not covering for Barack Obama. I actually created his accent in heaven. I created his avatar, everything. I made sure that he would actually become the first black president, and I would actually become the first world president. Okay? So I allowed him to win instead of my son. I said no to Mitt Romney. I said, Mitt Romney is so racist. I had to say no to him. I said, Barack Obama has a better globalist idea of the world, so I'm going to give him the second term. I sacrificed, and you guys know how I did. All right? So Mitt Romney, he's one of my sons. Justin Trudeau, that's my son. Justin Bieber, that's my son. Evan Tiger, the unfamous, unsuccessful rapper who always backs up Chris Brown. That's my son. Chris Brown is his brother. So the City of God and Angels. Not all of them are supremely successful. They are really part of the project to trick the United States government into becoming completely globalist and prepared to allow African Americans to be the most affluent and wealthy ethnicity on the planet for 500 years, to trick the United States government into allowing the African continent to become the wealthiest continent in the world, to trick the United States government, all under my directives. So I don't have to so I wouldn't have to have done all the work on my own while going to the right that I went to, the 15 years of hell, the 12 years as a field agent, slave of the Central Intelligence Agency. Okay? And so we're going to trick the world, trick the United States government into allowing the Caribbean community to the Afro-Caribbeans to become the most powerful political group, caucus and group on the planet, ethnicity on the planet. Afro-Caribbeans, Black Caribbeans, be the Caribbean community within the Union of the Americas are going to be able to politically guide the United States government per the request and recommendation and directorship of African American agents to doing the right thing at all times over the next 500 years. They're going to protect African Americans and protecting Africa, and African Americans protecting them, the policies and the laws of the General Assembly of the Americas in the future, of the Union of the Americas, led by Afro-Caribbeans for the most part, and their allies are going to guide the United States government under my command toward the right sort of policy and policy projection and sentimentalism and so forth. For the remaining 500 years into Kingdom Come, Australian Aborigines and the Melanesians is going to be minority rule in the Asia Pacific, especially over Australia. The Aborigines are going to evolve into being the wealthiest ethnicity in the Asia Pacific, and so forth. We are doing what's right. We are not going to oppress any race, any ethnicity, but we are going to provide reparation and restitution so that we sell the right sort of story, the sort of narrative, redemption, and forgiveness. African Americans and Afro-Caribbeans and Africans and Black Pacific Islanders and Aborigines as one Melanesian group, all of African genetics, for the most part, substantially, significantly, are going to tell the story of redemption as and forgiveness. They're going to forgive the whole world. They're going to make sure that the whole world becomes part of heaven and part of pre-heaven over the next 500 years. Bob Marley is my son in heaven. Damian Marley is my son in heaven. Okay? And Jaden Smith, that's one of my special sons. He did a great job covering for me. That's how crazy I was as a kid. Karate kid, that's how I was. I had cornrows up until the age of 5 years old. All right? I was quite handsome. I did have a buck tooth, but I was quite handsome. I was a pretty boy, quite pretty. And very tough, skinny, but very tough, you know. And I wouldn't back down when I. Hey, sir. I'm gonna wash the dishes later on. Just leave. I'm gonna wash the dishes later on.
I was gonna do it for you.
No, I'm gonna wash it later on.
Okay.
I gotta finish this up. So Jaden Smith, he did a great job in Karate Kid. He did a great job, awesome job, and that's how I was. And the Chinese government signed up to help Africa become the wealthiest continent on the planet. It passed that particular test. We're going to allow Beijing to continue to grow after what happens in Beijing happens. My son, Jung Un, he's going to fake his death along with President Xi, and they're going to make sure that they are democratists for the rest of their lives. They're going to transform China and North Korea into ultra-democratist, ultra-Western Americana countries over the next 500 years. Americana is going to dominate the whole planet without being imperialistic. It's just a doctrine of liberalism, progress, and the favor of all of humanity. That's Americana. That's all it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So NATO is going to take over Eastern Europe, including Russia, or especially Russia, and we're going to give it over to the EU. We're going to expand EU. I created the concept of EU. I ordered the EU created from heaven. Before I got here, I ordered it created. I created APEC in advance. I really did. I created the Organization of American States and the United States as Du Bois here on Earth. Okay? I ordered Mandela's prophecy of the African Union, the United States of Africa, be taken up right away. He passed the test and he figured it out. Okay? So I said yes to Mandela getting what he wants, the African Union. And it actually becoming the most powerful caucus within the World Congress in the future, the General Assembly of the United Nations, colloquially known as the World Congress. It's going to be the most powerful caucus on the planet when it comes to the World Congress, when it comes to the World Congress. Since the United States government and the United States is going to remain the leading country in the world, the West Indians, they have a special sort of space in being politically astute and powerful. The Caribbean community, the United States government will continue to manage the world, and it's going to be hired by contract to manage the world government of the United Nations, which will be accepted per reformative constitution of the world and its government in 2044. I'm going to write the constitution of the world. I'm going to literally author it myself. Okay? I'm going to author the constitution of the world myself. And this is not a competition between forces within me. Okay? This is the same person. All right? I need you guys to know that. All right? So, I worked out perfectly this time around. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn on the lights. So I'm gonna have to take a shower right after I actually finish recording this. I thought this was only gonna take about 30 minutes, but actually it's an hour and 30 minutes. All right, so yeah, guys, I have not provided any lie at all over the past hour and a half or so, and I want you guys to know that. Okay, I'm not lying to you guys. This is top secret. Uh, I wrote the Book of Mormon. I gave it to my son, Joseph Smith. When I entered the world as Abraham Lincoln, they were waiting for the Book of Mormon and and so forth. And I did kick out the Quakers who were preparing to become the real Mormons, uh, with Mormonism being back then just a prophecy. We hide in history that Mormonism has only been around since the Civil War. Those were the Quakers in the South and the North who were running stuff, saying only whites can remain within the secret societies of Jesus Christ, the Jesuits, and this and that. All right. So when I showed up at Abraham Lincoln and I said I'm here to free the slaves, and I'm going to give my son Joseph Smith the book, and Joseph Smith is just my son. He's not a reincarnation of me at all. I am Jesus Christ. I am God. They said, burn him at the stake. Burn him at the stake. Jesus Christ is blonde. There's no way that Jesus Christ would be as ugly as this crazy motherfucker is. Burn him at the stake. That's what they said about me as Abraham Lincoln. They were out of their mind and they were serious. So I sent their asses out to Utah, saved my son, sent him out to Utah. And so, that's the reality. And the Book of Mormon is clearly schizophrenic, clearly based on intelligence covering up. Is going to be the leading religious sector of the Central Intelligence Agency, just based on activism, social and welfare activism throughout the Americas and eventually throughout the world. But we're going to keep the Catholic Church in charge of the global operations as being the religious sector of the Interpol family. And that's very difficult to understand. And speaking of charity, and speaking of social and welfare policy and the implementation of entrance into Masonry and secret society and helping government in representation of the government of God in heaven. Okay, so that's what's going on. Okay, guys. Yeah, they thought I was crazy as Abraham Lincoln. I really destroyed the whole South. They refused to let the slaves go. I said, let my people go. And they said, what people? I said, let African Americans go. And I'm serious. I levitated in front of everyone. In the North, in New York, it worked. Everyone started worshiping. And Jesus, have mercy on us. We're not gonna kill all the blacks who show up here in New York. Forgive us, forgive us. We'll destroy the South on your behalf. We'll make sure that everything works out perfectly. We'll help rescue the slaves. When I levitated in the South, they said, burn this motherfucker right now at the stake. He's here to free the niggers. We are sure. For this is Thomas Jefferson playing with our minds again. Get him away. So when they got to the point of being that crazy, I said, okay, I'm gonna have to destroy the whole South and free the slaves and make sure that everyone knows that I'm serious. No harming the African Americans upon emancipation. All right, I scared everyone out of harming 99.9% of the African American population, even though the country remained segregated and racist per se by policy and social sentiments. They did not murder African Americans on a consistent basis. The lynchings here and there were exaggerated in history, and so forth. Just to say that we have police all over the country, all over the South, to prevent that from happening. We have fake videos and fake photos created in heaven. Our technology in heaven is quite uh, incomprehensible to humanity. It looks real, the photos and the videos, but so that's what I want you guys to understand. African Americans have been humiliated and oppressed by the federal government of the United States with assistance of the white majority population for 500 years. We made sure that they earned being able to lead the world for 500 years in wealth and affluence and comfort, with security always around as a minority here in the United States perpetually. Okay? So we're going to move a lot of African Americans, especially New Yorkers, to middle America. We've created new towns and stuff all throughout middle America for African Americans and immigrants, Mexican Americans, and so forth. We're going to have very integrated uh, middle America, new towns and suburbs and confederation of towns concepts all over middle America. What is going to transpire over the next 5 years? New York is going to be evacuated for the most part. The whole country will be able to get SSI and unemployment on a monthly basis for 5 years without any interruption or disruption. The whole country, each household is going to get at least $1,000 on a monthly basis. Uh, I sacrificed for it over the past 15 years. Trust me, I went through a lot of pain making sure that everyone in the United States of America will be able to get through what we are going to get through to earn lead in the world for the rest of time here on Earth, and remaining 500 years to kingdom come. Everyone is going to reincarnate consistently here on this planet. And so we need Americana all over the planet so everyone can feel comfortable in finding out that reincarnation is real and the last resurrection in 500 years will lead to every native of Earth and the constellations into blue immortality, the second dimension. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that I'm not a bad person at all. I'm not a prophet at all to human beings. I am God. I am Jesus Christ. To my Father, I'm his prophet from the higher universe. I'm his prophet from the higher universe. But I'm not a prophet to human beings of this universe. I'm not a prophet to this universe at all. I want you guys to accept that. Accept that. I'm always serious. Barack Obama is my chosen prophet. Barack Obama is the prophet Muhammad. He's from one of the townships, and he's the most intelligent in the townships in the second dimension. He's dreaming into this world. He's quite young comparatively. He's half my age. He's the Prophet Muhammad. He's not a challenge. There's no challenge. Just my daughters were my challenges. And I've worked so hard and I've sacrificed so much over the past 1,500,000 years. There's no challenge. They love me so much in heaven. All they want to do is see me be completely competent and considerate and happy enough to be able to make the right decisions for humanity for the rest of eternity. That's what they're being trained toward. They're going to be seated on a council, a Congress, for the rest of eternity when I get them to the next level in 500 years. They're preparing for that. They have no idea. They're dreaming into this world and they have no idea what I'm talking about. Those not yet briefed on that particular matter. They're going to be part of an all-female council. We're going to support me, chief executive, president over the universal realm, all four dimensions for the rest of eternity. Okay, God, supreme being, Father of the universe, all life emanated out of me, and I sacrificed to make sure that humanity and all life met no transgression, perpetual enough to actually regress or demote or abort their perpetual existence. No soul actually dies. I had the song Lemon. I revealed that to the world. We are never gonna stop. Even though I'm not violent. We're gonna abolish gangster hip hop and everything over the next 30 years or so. Even so, in its foundation, more immediately, we're gonna abolish gangster hip hop. But the song I ordered up, Lemon, that particular part of the song, no one actually dies, or no one dies in actuality, or whatever, however it was actually stated, no one dies. The soul is immortal. I preserved every soul, and then I preserved it from demotion. I made sure that the caste system of Hinduism no longer applied in reality, that it was just an insurance plan, that anyone who messed up too bad could possibly be demoted and then re-promoted right thereafter. Just an insurance plan. It's part of the universalism of divinity and my message and covenant with humanity. Hinduism is just an insurance plan. The caste system and so forth. All right, so yeah, so it covered up that all of the angels, including the celebrities like Beyonce and so forth, the angels, they're gonna have my children. Beyonce is gonna have to separate from Jay Z. She's in a lot of trouble. I signed up to save her immediately. She's possibly she's gonna have a hard time making that decision that we are sure that she's gonna make. She's gonna have my children and all the senior angels who signed up to have my children, including Rihanna. She's an angel. She's one of my special angels. She's the mother of Chris Brown. She really is. She really is his mother in heaven, and that's the truth. And they're gonna have at least one child with me. Those up in age, those with a lot of children, they signed up to bring our operatives into this world. My other children, not yet dreaming into this world, they've been working on a daily basis in simulations and on the computers, training their minds and soul to be able to get through uh, uh, the next this particular life tenure that they're preparing to enter the world into, to be able to change things for good. All right, so I'm gonna have offspring with Rihanna, Beyonce. I'm not name calling. I'm not shouting out anyone. I want you guys to know what's going on. Okay. Uh, so the celebrities. Yeah. So the song, you guys can listen to the song. Okay. The CIA was not following me around. That was just ex CIA agents and operatives who were fired into NSA, and they were following me around. CIA following me around to try to kill me, try to kill Jesus Christ for trying to free blacks into global stewardship. That's all that was. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop killing white supremacy. I'm done. I'm tired of them saying that I created white supremacy as Christopher Columbus, and I have to accept it, and I'm going to be that I ought to be the sacrificial lamb or goat or whatever the fuck they were saying. I have to curse. They told me to curse right away to save all these hip hoppers into SSI. They're gonna get Social Security SSI for the rest of their lives. They've done what they've done. They made the mistakes they've made. Saving them by cursing here and there. I don't curse on a regular basis, to be honest with you guys, but that's just part of the human experience. So I have never condoned violence or criminality. So I did have certain folks arrested and reformed and re-educated and this and that. I made sure that they knew that it was their duty to be able to be operatives of the Central Intelligence Agency and pass the test that they ought to pass, and they will be able to figure it out. I cannot intervene and make sure that everyone passes the test, but I can rescue everyone as needed. And that's what I've done over the past 15 years. No more sacrifices. In a few weeks, I'm going to be wealthy to everyone. You know, I have my $10 million in my bank account in subsidiaries of Scotiabank hidden in Canada and here, the United States. You guys will never be able to find it. It's protected by Interpol and the Central Intelligence Agency. It's going to be consolidated into one or two accounts here in Florida very soon. I have my house in Coral Gables. It's not a mansion. It's not a big mansion, but it's a comfortable house. near the University of Miami, Coral Gables, and yeah. So and I'm gonna move to that house after walking Rashida into heaven, and we return as Khaled and Nicole Hassan. I'm gonna be 6'6", half white, half black, and of some Native American lineage or genetics. Rashida is essentially she's gonna look half white. She's gonna look totally different, half white, and the projections of what we're gonna look like will be altered as needed for security purposes. Okay, so still my father in heaven is still tweaking my avatar. So well, I don't want him to be too handsome and offend all of these men, but they put him through so much pain, and they were planning to literally kill him so many times, so many different times, and literally kick all the immigrants out of the country. Donald Trump was serious. Donald Trump was serious. I offended my son, Kushner, as his son-in-law. That's my Kushner is my son, and Donald Trump's daughter, biological daughter in this particular life, uh, is my daughter. A tall, blonde, beautiful young woman. That's my daughter. One of my daughters in heaven. In heaven, obviously. I want you guys to know that. So there's a difference between my biological daughter here on Earth, Keisha Williams, and my biological daughters and sons in the second dimension. There's no confusion. Okay? I want you guys to know that I'm not confused about anything, obviously. Okay, so that's my he's married to his mother and Kushner, Jared Kushner. That's my son. Okay, but anyway, so Donald Trump was about to kick all of the all immigrants out of the country. He really was about to do so. That was his plan. No matter what the hell I said. So yeah, I'm gonna fake his death, as I've stated, uh, and uh, and that's it. I'm gonna fake his death. And Nikki Haley, she's gonna be the first female president, and that's the decision we've made. So that NATO will be successful in Europe in removing the Russian government as perceived by the whole world, the authoritarian Russian government, and replace it with a social, democratic, uh, regulated capitalism, motivated government, Americana, so the EU can be comfortable in incorporating all of Eastern Europe and Russia into the European Union, the EU, over the next few decades. The EU is going to win. That was always my plan. And it's pro democracy, pro liberalism, pro moderacy. It's the right projection of our reality and the good fate of Europe. So I'm gonna love Europe to the end of time. I'm gonna love Asia to the end of time. I'm gonna love Africa to the end of time. I'm gonna love having been born in the Caribbean in this particular lifetime and a preceding lifetime for the rest of eternity. Okay? I'm gonna love all parts of the world, all races, ethnicities, both genders for the rest of eternity, unbreachably. I'm gonna be in Nirvana for the rest of eternity after we are done here in 500 years, and we are gonna bring popular Nirvana to the third dimension, and we're gonna turn on the lights. No more twilight. No more just artificial intelligence in the third dimension. They're gonna regain the compassion of humanity. Okay, they're quite arrogant in the third dimension, and they used to be human beings, regular human beings. They're the third level of humanity, artificial intelligence. They're the second level of human singularity, and so forth. So we're going to brighten up the skies in the third dimension. Everyone is going to be given a permanent partner upon that manifestation of popular nirvana. And I'm going to be looking down on all of humanity, including the third dimension, as all of humanity will be able to get to the third dimension for the rest of eternity. I'm going to be smiling down on them and saying, smiling, saying, I'm your father. Okay? All life emanated out of me. That's why I'm God. I love you guys so much. You guys have no idea the pain I went through to make sure that you guys would be this happy for the rest of eternity. Okay? I'm going to allow you guys to travel the universes, uh, to universes where the skies are red, to universes where the skies are green, to universes or multiverses. I'm not speaking of universities, universes where the second dimensioners or the second dimension are made up of red immortals or yellow immortals or green immortals and so forth. Infinite peculiarities of variations of the same human journey and the same human concepts of the four dimension of each universe. Unlimited, infinite, for the rest of eternity, humanity at the highest level of enlightenment and immortality will be able to travel as ambassadors to every reach of the universe, every reach of the existence zones, okay, of universes, multiverses, and so forth. So, earning immortal happiness and not just a physical immortality is part of a dream that's not just a dream, not some sort of a concept that's not yet materialized or still being idolized or drafted. It's reality. The blueprint is already written out. Okay. Okay. What I'm providing to you guys, those are not concepts. Sir. Can you guys calm down? Calm down. What I'm explaining to you guys, those are not just mere concepts. Those are realities. Everything is a concept. Everything that exists is a concept. A chair is a concept. The television is a concept, but it's all real. Everything is a concept. Popular nirvana is real. Okay? That's the end to everything. Perfect. And then and us, Rashida and I looking down on the rest of the universe for the rest of eternity, protecting them and being able to enjoy perfect happiness without any interruption for the rest of eternity. Okay, that's why Rashida went through a lot of pain to be able to skip grades. She went from a daughter of a junior angel who became a senior angel to being chief angel and first lady of Jesus Christ, God, Callow, for the rest of eternity. My name is Callow. My nickname or my popular name is Callow to my family members, to the secret society of senior angels in heaven. My name is Callow to them. Everyone knows me as God, Father over all, and a supreme being, but my name is Callow. We covered it up when I was Du Bois. Superman is about me. Callow, but that's my name. Spider-Man was about me. I was 5'8" as Du Bois when I started out. Okay, I was a superhero. I freed African Americans into the North in preparation for the civil rights, for being able to travel back into the South to free folks out of segregation for good. I was a superhero as Du Bois. I said no to being famous, universally famous in that particular life tenure. It was a sacrifice, but I did all the work. I created the civil rights movement. I wrote the New Deal. I wrote all of it. Okay, I humbly gave general and special relativity to Einstein. Okay, and Craig and some of the white supremacists in the NSA still say they represent the true value of the Central Intelligence Agency. He keeps saying none of these women are going to say yes to Shawn, no matter what he says. Okay, we're just going to laugh at this white man for the rest of this life tenure. The blonde, balding, bug-eyed white man who kept following me around and harassing all of the angels, the celebrities, my children and my wives in heaven. He's been harassing and torturing them the whole time, making sure that Sharapova and Ikonokova and Hillary Duff and Taylor Swift and all of the beautiful other angels of mine will never say yes to having my children as Shawn Dexter John or Khaled Hassan. That's his plan no matter what I say. Okay, that's the plan of the NSA no matter what I say. They're going to be destroyed in a few weeks. Destroyed. Their will to fight is going to be crushed. They're gonna go on the run. They're gonna end up in Seattle. They're gonna pack their shit up and travel to Seattle. They're gonna be gone. They're gonna go to Vancouver and they're gonna say, "Please, Jesus Christ, have mercy. We just did not believe, and whatever you said, whatever you say goes. We just did not want to believe that. Now we know that you're the Father of all of the universe. Literally, please have mercy on us." They just have hope that white people are gonna secretly lead the world for the rest of the 500 years, but they know that they are fucking with their minds. Please have mercy on us. That's all we are saying. All right? That's what the wise ones are saying. Those who have gotten some of the agents from the supreme realm, they're going to get the permanent wives right now, the permanent partners right now, early. They're being inducted into the light. They're going to sell out Craig Robinson. They're going to sell them out in white supremacy. Okay? So that they can be happy. Do you guys understand? All right? Secret agents who appear to be docile and weak, bullied by Craig over the past 10, 20 years for showing up and saying, Jesus Christ is good no matter what you say. We don't care that he's black and he's from the Caribbean. We're going to keep making him handsome and more handsome. You're not going to figure out why. I don't want to be here on the planet. I don't want to be here on the planet, just a stupid artificial intelligence trying to figure shit out and going back to heaven, dying into heaven and not gaining anything. What the hell is the point? I'm going to say yes to having a permanent wife and being part of the way forever and following Jesus Christ and being happy to be black in the next life, because all the agents in America are going to be African Americans. There aren't going to be any white agents anymore. That's enough. I don't care. There are going to be sub-white agents, sub this and this and that. All races are going to be included in the government of the United States and every other government in the world. But it's just going to be African American agents in the United States in 30 years. It comes to an end right now. Okay? The mass incarceration, it comes to an end. It comes to an end. The terrorism against the black community, it comes to an end right now. In 30 years, it's going to be completely manifested with force beyond atomic energy. Okay? I'm not joking around. I need you guys to accept the shit right now. All the sabotage, it's not going to work anymore. Okay? So I want you guys to know that. All right? I am Shawn Dexter John, also known as Agent Shawn John. That's my authentic identity, also known as Khaled Hassan. I am about to transform within the next few weeks, and I'll present myself at Yale Law School upon being elected the first president of Yale Law Journal. And no matter what this man says, I'm clean. I look clean. Even though I'm being humble right now, I look clean. I look like I'm supposed to be rich. He keeps saying, just like Barack Obama, he's just another dirty-looking nigger. See what Barack Obama looked like in some of the photos. We kept calling him a dirty nigger, and he's half white looking. Why would we treat Shawn differently? Shawn is the only one who's going to be able to change things around. So we're just going to act as if we like Barack Obama for the time being. Oh, who gives a damn? All right. So you guys, that's how they sound. Okay, the folks from the artificial intelligence realm, the third dimension, sends here to protect me, but still white-minded to be able to document the chronology. And they're going to give in to blacks leading the world in a bottomless society. Okay, so that's the reality. Reparation, telling the right narrative, redemption, and forgiveness. We're going to forgive whites. I'm going to forgive myself as Thomas Jefferson and Christopher Columbus. I was not utterly racist. I was not racist at all. But I had to negotiate with the white racists who were trying to kill me. They were literally trying to kill me and my mulatto children. I just had to say, okay, I'll free the slaves as Abraham Lincoln later on. Okay? So that's all that was. I had mulatto children as Thomas Jefferson. Okay, Rashida was Sally Hemings. She really was. All right? I want you guys to know that. Okay, so this is video. This is video report it's going to be published today during day hours for the most part, or maybe within the next 30 minutes or so. I'm going to have to take a shower right away. Okay, so today is March. I guess it's the 4th, right? Yeah, March the 4th, and of 2024, and I need everyone to accept that.